Hello students, hope you are all well. Okay, today we are going to start with chapter 6 algebraic expressions and factorization. Okay, first of all you should understand what is an algebraic expression. An algebraic expression is the combination of some constants, some variables and along with some mathematical operators. Combination of some constants, variables and mathematical operators. So what are constants, what are variables, what are mathematical operators? Constants are the numbers that we use on the number line, the real numbers, the numbers that you represent. You can easily represent, you can easily say this is the exact value, this is the constant value. For example, if I say 2, so 2 is a constant. 94, 92 is also a constant. 94 is also a constant. These are all constant. Variables are, what are variables? X, Y, Z. The expressions whose values is not constant, the expressions whose value is not definite. Okay, x can be anything, y can be anything, z can be anything. Mathematical operators are plus, minus, divide and multiply. Okay, so let me share an example. Any polynomial, any algebraic expression, it can be any algebraic expression, x square minus yx plus z plus 4x minus 3y plus 18. Okay, so this can be said as an algebraic expression. I have taken too many terms. If I just say 18x, it is also in itself as an algebraic expression. If I say 23y, again in itself it is an algebraic expression. 16y square, even if we don't use any constant, z cube in itself is an algebraic expression. So what is happening here? 1 is being multiplied with z, or we can say z is being multiplied with z 3 times. So there is multiplication, the mathematical operator that is being used. There is no constant, so constant, we can say that constant in this case is 1, and a variable is z. Okay, there can be one variable, two variables, or more than two variables. The mathematical operators can be used once, twice, thrice. The same operator can be used more than one times. There can be constant, there can be a case in which there is no constant. Okay, so there are multiple examples for algebraic expression. So again, what is an algebraic expression? It is a combination of some constants, some variables and mathematical operators. Okay. Next we talk about what are valid polynomials. Okay, polynomials are algebraic expressions. Polynomials are algebraic expressions in which the power of each and every variable is a natural number. In which power of, or you can say exponent of each and every variable is, let's say, whole number. Okay, so what does we mean by whole number? A whole number is an integer, so there are no decimal values. It is not a fraction number, not a rational number, so there are no p by q terms. Okay, so whole number is an integer. The numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 18, 20, these are whole numbers. If a number is 2.2, then it is not a whole number. Okay. So polynomials are algebraic expression in which power, or you can say exponent, of each and every variable Okay, it is important to point out that we are just talking about variable. Power of a variable is a whole number. Once again, a whole number is not a negative number. Minus 10 is not a whole number. Plus 10 is a whole number. Okay, so power of the variable is constant. Okay, keep that in mind. Power of the variable is constant. Sorry, power of the variable is a whole number. If there is such an algebraic expression in which power of the variable is a whole number, then it is called a polynomial. Okay, so what are valid polynomials? Again, polynomials, valid polynomials, same term. You can just write down polynomials as it is. Okay, so how do we identify that the given term, that the given expression is a polynomial or not? The application of this definition is, how do we determine whether the given expression is a valid polynomial or not? Okay, so what we do is we take two criteria. We determine whether in the given statement there is any variable in the denominator. For example, you have a question number 4. In question number 4, you have to determine which out of all 4 options, which of the following is a polynomial. First option is, let me write it down. First option is 3x square plus 7 upon 3x plus 11. B option is, okay, question is which is not a polynomial, okay. 2 upon x plus 5x minus 7. C option is 11x square minus xy plus 5 upon 7, and D option is 5 upon 3 x cube minus 4 upon 11 x square plus 5 upon 4. Okay, these are 4 options given to you. Out of these 4 options, you have to determine which is not a valid polynomial. Okay, so what I've told you, we have to determine the powers of x. We have to determine the powers of variables. So variable in each of these cases is x. So we will determine whether the given power of the x, the given power of the variable, is positive or not, is a whole number or not. Okay, so let's say for the first part, first term is 3x square, so power of x square is 2. Next is, there is no power mentioned, that means power of x is 1. In C part, for 11x square, the power is 2. For xy, power to the x is 1, power to the y is 1. Because no power is given, that means it is 1. Okay, and then taken the D part, power of x cube, 5 by 3 x cube, the power of variable here is 3. For minus 4 upon 11 x square, the power of variable is 2, and 5 upon 4 is constant. Okay, let's take B part. For B part, we have 2 upon x. The first term of B part is 2 upon x. So let's talk about 2 upon x. What happens with 2 upon x? As we have already studied in exponents, if a number is in the denominator, then its power is negative. When the number is transferred to the numerator, its powers become negative. So what happens is 2x to the power minus 1. 2 upon x is equals to 2x to the power minus 1. Why x to the power minus 1? Because if a number is in denominator, when it is transferred to the numerator, the powers become negative. Okay, we had a formula in powers and exponents, that was 1 upon a is equals to a to the power minus 1. This was the identity in powers and exponents. Okay, so here we find out that out of all the x's in B part, one of the x's power is negative. Negative power, once again, it is not a valid polynomial. For it to be a valid polynomial, all the powers of x should have been positive. Okay. Now let's see. In the same manner, if the power would have been in points, suppose I had x to the power 0.5, or I can say x to the power 3 by 2. If I had such cases, then for those cases also the power would have been in decimals. The power would have been not a whole numbers. So these would not have been proper polynomials, not valid polynomials. Okay. Next, after discussing polynomials, let's talk about the degree of an algebraic expression. Okay, from now onwards, whenever in the chapter we use the term algebraic expressions, we are talking about polynomials. Okay, we are talking about valid polynomials only. We are talking about algebraic expressions only. Okay, for the previous examples, the examples in question number 4, all these were algebraic expression. All of 4 were algebraic expression, but B part was not a polynomial because it's one of the x has its power as not an whole number. This x iska power negative tha, that is why. So what happens here is from this chapter onwards, from now chapter onwards, whenever we face algebraic expression, whenever we see the term algebraic expression, we will say that it is talking about polynomials. Okay, same term. Now let's talk about degree of a polynomial. So what is the degree of a polynomial? Degree of an algebraic expression. It is the highest power of a variable better write it, of a term. It is the highest power of a term in bracket we write down variables, highest power of a term variables in the given algebraic expression. Okay, it is the highest power. Okay, how do we determine the highest power? Let's take the examples that were in the previous question. Fourth question, we had 3x square plus 7 upon 3x plus 11. Okay, so this was our question. So how do we determine? We have to determine the degree of this algebraic expression. So what we do is we compare the powers of x. We will need to require the highest power of x. We are interested in the highest power of x. What is the highest power of x? See, for this plus 11x plus 11, there is no x, so no power of x. For the between term, middle term, this is 7 upon 3x. So x का कुछ भी नहीं है तो power 1 होगा. Okay, and for the first term it is 3x square. So degree of this polynomial will be 2, because highest power of x, there are two powers of x. One power of x is 2 and another power of x is 1. There are two powers of x. One is 2, one is 1. Okay, so degree is going to be 2 because degree is the highest power of x, highest power of the variable. Okay, let's take another example. This is again from your book, x cube minus x square plus 2x minus 6. Okay, so we have to determine the degree of this polynomial. This was first, this is second. We have to determine degree of this polynomial. Okay, so we will compare the powers of x. The highest power of x, as you can easily determine, is 3. Okay, okay, let me stress on the point that I am saying again and again, highest power of variable, highest power of variable. What do we mean by highest power of variable? Let's take another example. Suppose I have a term 3 cube x square minus 4x plus 2. Okay, so for this expression, what will be the degree of polynomial? For this expression, what will be the degree of polynomial? Here we have powers as 3, 2 and 1. We have powers as 3, 2 and 1. But for the case of variable only, the highest power is 2. We are not interested in the power of the constant. We are not interested in power of a constant. We are only interested in highest power of variable. So highest power of variable again here is 2. Okay. Okay. This is one of the practice questions in your examples. Okay. Question is, find the degree of the following polynomial. Let me enlarge it a bit. Okay. In the first part, you have to determine the degree. This is x square minus 5x plus 1. So as you can easily see, degree of this polynomial is going to be 2. Why? Because highest power of any x present in this question is 2. Highest power of any x present in this question is 2. Okay, let's see second part. Second part is a bit tricky. Okay, this time we have for the first part and all the examples that we have used earlier, we had only single variable, or there were no variables being multiplied with themselves. Okay, no two variables were being multiplied, but in second and third question, in the middle parts, variables are being multiplied. In the second part, a square b are being multiplied. In the third part, p and q are being multiplied. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to focus on this multiplication part more. Okay, so first of all, for a its power is 2, for b its power is 2. For the second part, for a its power is 2, b its power is 2. Okay, if I am talking about the middle part minus a square b, if I am talking about this, the power of a is 2 and power of b is 1. Okay, if I have such a case in which there are two or more variables being multiplied. Listen again, if I have such a case in which there are two or more variables are being multiplied, so what we do is we add the powers of both the variables. When do we add the powers of both the variables? When there is such a case when two or more variables are being multiplied. Okay, so when we add it, we get 3. So highest power becomes 3, degree becomes 3. Degree becomes 3. Okay, I will share some more examples related to it. Let's see question number 3. Question number 3 is 3p square. So power of p, power, this is called the power. This is the exponent part. Okay, power is 2. For q, power is 3. For p into q, power of p is 1, power of q is 1. On adding 1 plus 1, you get 2. Okay, so a degree of this third part will be, degree will be 3. Okay, second part degree is 3, third part degree is 3. Let's take one another example of multiplication. Okay, 3xyz plus 3y cube minus 4x square y square. Okay, suppose this is the algebraic expression and you have to determine its degree. So how do we do it? For the first term, you will say it is x to the power 1, y to the power 1 and z to the power 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 3. For the second term, you have y cube, so its power is 3. For the next term, third term, you have x square, so power is 2, y square, power is 2, net power is 4. Okay, this is the net power, that is 4. So degree of this expression will be, degree of this expression will be 4. Okay. Next is based on the degree of the polynomial. Based on the degree of polynomial, we have 3 types of polynomials. Okay, we have linear polynomial, we have quadratic polynomial, we have cubic polynomial. So let's see classification on polynomials based on degree. Classification of polynomials based on degree. On the basis of degree, polynomials are classified into 3 parts. Okay, I'm saying in 3 parts, there can be more classification. There are more classifications, but they do not cover in our course. Okay, up to 10th class, you are just going, up to 9th class, you are just going to again and again see the classification of polynomials in 3 parts only: linear polynomial, cubic polynomial, quadratic polynomial. There is biquadratic and higher order class degrees, but they don't concern us up to 10th class. Okay, so let's see. We classify polynomials in 3 parts based on their degree. Okay, we classify polynomials in 3 parts based on their degree. First one is linear polynomial. For linear polynomial, what is for linear polynomial? When the degree of a polynomial is 1, then it is called linear polynomial. So I'm just simply writing it out. For linear polynomial, degree is 1. For linear polynomial, degree is 1. That means the highest power of any variable in the given expression is 1. Then it will be called a linear polynomial. Next is quadratic polynomial. Next is quadratic polynomial. So in this case, when the highest power of any given variable or a pair of variables or a term is 2, then it is called the quadratic polynomial. Or we can say when the degree of a polynomial is 2, then it will be called a quadratic polynomial. Degree is 2. And thirdly, we have cubic polynomial. Thirdly, we have cubic polynomial. So for cubic polynomial, we have degree 3. Okay, for cubic polynomial, we have degree 3. So these are 3 classifications. Okay. Moving on, next is terms of a polynomial. Okay, next we are going to study about terms of a polynomial. What we have studied so far, we have studied about what is a polynomial. Then we have studied about the degree of a polynomial. Degree is the power of variable. Okay, next we are going to learn about the terms of a polynomial. How many terms are there and what are terms of a polynomial? So let's see. Terms of a polynomial are differentiated by the signs of positive and negative, or we can say plus and minus. Terms of a polynomial are differentiated by the signs positive or negative, or we can say plus and minus. See, so how do we define? Let's take example from any of the previous questions. Let me take this one. Allow me to take more than one example, okay? These are all 3 terms. Okay, let me write down some examples for you. I will write down 3 examples and we will see. First one will be 7x square minus 8x cube plus 4xy plus y square. Second is 3x square minus y cube. And third will be 4x square minus 7 upon 3 y plus 2. Okay, so let me show you how on the basis of example we can determine the number of terms. Okay, so first, for the first example, we see that there is a term 7x square, there is a term 8x cube, there is 4xy, there is y square. So there are 4 terms. How am I differentiating in these terms? The variable part of all these 4 terms are different. The variable part of all these 4 terms are different. How they are different? For the first term we have x square. For the second term we have x cube. For the third term we have xy. For the fourth term we have y square. So x square and y square are totally different. X cube and x square are totally different. Okay. So as the variable are different, so the terms are different. If the variables would have been same, we would have simplified the expression. But because the variables are different, because variables on a whole are different, so the expression is different. Okay. So similarly, for the second part, we have 3x square and y cube. So 3x square is in itself is a different expression. Y cube in itself is again a different expression. So there are two terms. Okay, in third part we have 4x square minus 7 upon 3y plus 2. Let me ask you once again, is it a valid polynomial? Yes, you are correct, it is a valid polynomial because all the variables are in numerator only. Okay, so it is a valid polynomial. There is a term of x square, there is a term of y, and there is a constant. If variable is not associated with any term, then that term is called constant. If a variable is not associated with any term, then that term is called a constant. So it has how many? 3 terms. Okay, let me elaborate more. Suppose I had a question like this. Suppose I had a question 4x square minus 4x plus 6x minus 6x square. Suppose I had a question like this and question wanted to ask us the number of the terms. Okay, so on the first glance I can easily see there are 4 different terms. On the first glance I can easily determine there are 4 different terms, but that is not the case here. Why that is not the case? Because there are 2 terms of x. There are 2 terms of x to the power 1 and again 2 terms of x to the power 2. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to simplify this expression. For x to the power 2, you rewrite this expression according to their powers. So you rewrite 4x square minus 6x square together. You are going to solve them plus minus 4x plus 6x again together, and you will simplify them. So 4x square minus 6x square will be minus 2x square, and after that minus 4x plus 6x will be plus 2x. So on simplifying this expression you get only 2 terms. Why did we simplify it? Because the powers were same. The powers and variables were still same. Because the powers and variables were still same, that is why this algebraic expression could be simplified. Okay, so first of all we need to determine whether it can be simplified or not, and after we determine that we will check out its powers and we will check out its terms. Next is classification of polynomial based on terms. Based on terms, we classify polynomial in 3 parts. First is your monomial. Monomial means one term. Next is binomial. Binomial means 2 terms. And third is trinomial. Trinomial means 3 terms. Okay, so monomial is a polynomial which have only one term. Binomial is a polynomial which have 2 terms. Trinomial is a polynomial that have 3 terms. For higher order terms, we are not classifying, again that is out of our scope. Okay, you will know about those terms in higher classes, but for now you have only 3 types of polynomials based on number of terms. Monomial, that is 1 term. Binomial, that is 2 terms. Trinomial, that is 3 terms. Okay, based on this you have like and unlike terms. Okay, what are like and unlike terms? Like I gave you an example earlier, 4x square minus 6x square minus 4x plus 6x. Okay, I gave you an example like this. Okay, so in this example 4x square and 6x square are both like terms. What are like terms? If the variable part of 2 or more terms is same, if for an algebraic expression variable part of 2 or more terms is exactly same. What do I mean by exactly same? The variable should be same as well as its power should be same. Okay, so let's write for an algebraic expression if the variable part of 2 or more terms of two or more terms is exactly same, then they are called like terms. Okay, if the variable part is exactly same, then they are called like terms, otherwise they are called unlike terms. Otherwise they are called unlike terms. Okay, so like terms are when the variable part is same. So for this algebraic expression there is 4x square and 6x square. So pair of 4x square and 6x square will be called as like terms, and pair of minus 4x and plus 6x will again called as like terms. But if we talk about 6x square, if we talk about 6x square and minus 4x, if we talk about 6x square and minus 4x, they are unlike terms. Okay, so this was all related to terms. Let us quickly do a question related to it. Okay, question number, identify the terms and coefficient of polynomials. It is question number 5. We have to identify the number of terms and the coefficients of polynomials. Okay, so first one is 11xyz plus 3x square y square z square minus 5x y square. Okay, so I will write terms one by one. So term 1 will be 11xyz. Okay, so for this is the first term. The coefficient here is the constant part. Coefficient here is the constant part. What constant is being multiplied with the variables? That is its coefficient. Term 2, let us take term 2. Term 2 will be 3x square y square z square. So x, y, z, square are all variables. So what will be the coefficient? Coefficient of this expression will be 3. Okay, in the same manner you have third term. For the third term you have coefficient, you have term minus 5x y square. See, terms is the sign is included in the terms. For the term the sign is included. All these were positive, so I did not put any signs. This is negative, so I put on the sign, and coefficient here is minus 5. Coefficient here is minus 5. Okay, let's take another one. Let's take its B part. B part is 4 minus x square. Okay, so 4 is a constant, but still it will be considered as term. It is 4 and it is constant. So as 4 in itself is a constant, there is no variable, so no coefficient part. For the second term, it is minus x. If nothing is multiplied with x, if nothing is being multiplied with your variable, then it is 1. And because it is minus x, the coefficient is minus 1. Minus x square, again nothing is being multiplied, so it is being multiplied by 1. Coefficient will be minus 1. Coefficient will be minus 1. Okay, so in this manner you can do question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your exercise 6.1. Tomorrow we are going to discuss more about the terms and how do we operate the polynomials, how do we add or subtract the polynomials based on like and unlike terms. Okay, thank you for your time. Have a nice day.